Still getting the feel for the place, or have you been in here in this building
Yeah,
yourself a little bit?
I've been in here. I've been in here a couple times, but you know, not. It's pretty nice already. You know, they got. You know, there's stuff they gotta do yet and figure out a little bit, but you know, they've done a good job. It's a nice place.
Yeah, what can this do maybe even for hockey in the town, youth hockey and stuff that they're gonna have tournaments and such here?
It's a great facility. So I mean, you know, just with the middle bowl there and the you know the fans that can come and watch and stuff, I think it's going to really, you know, it's already a real good hockey town with youth hockey and stuff. I think it's going to boost it even more.
How would it compare to the Callahoo ice there?
A little bit better.
Have you done that before? You've started a practice on one rink and finished on another?
Yeah, in Philly we had that all the time with our practice rink, so we'd use both ice. It's good, you know, fresh ice and makes things run a little smoother. Guys like it a lot. You know, when the ice is, you know, it's clean and everything, passing's better and pace is better. So,
Well, Craig, what was just in general, your message to the team last night on the eve of another camp here?
just you know, basically we got a lot of work to do. That's the bottom line. I mean, you know, we got to move on from last year, and we got work to do. That's basically, you know, the message. It's you got to put the work in. You got to get back going.
They're all saying that one is not enough, and their hunger level seems to be really strong. I guess that doesn't surprise you because you know the kind of the character of the team.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, you know, good character and leadership here, and obviously, you know, they're hungry. I think, you know, watching the guys come in, you know, a couple of weeks ago even, they looked fresh to me and looked ready to go and wanted to get back being around each other and playing. So, you know, I thought practice today was good pace out there, good jump.
Tarasenko looks fine from his surgery. Looked like he was moving around really good.
Yeah, he feels good, so that's good news.
You're going to go a little slower with Thomas and
Yeah,
Kyrie?
Thomas and Cairo. So we got him in a third group there. It's a small group. Got to be a little cautious with him right now. So.
With Thomas, I know it's day one. He's not even 100% yet. But where do you see him this year starting out on the wing, or would you like to move him to center at some point? Or?
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. That's the best way I can put it. I mean, you know, things will work themselves out. At some point, you know, we do want to get him in the middle of the ice. That's his position, and I know that he wants to get there too. So we'll just see how it goes. But that's a part of the plan for sure.
Things were so much different last year. You had all these new players coming in. They were looking for roles. You weren't even head coach at this point. How much the fact that there are a lot more known quantities about this team, how much might that help you avoid a slow start, get off to a good start?
Yeah, well, I mean, the chemistry and predictability of everybody is, you know, here, right? They all played together last year. We're missing, you know, one player that's not in the lineup that, you know, was in Game 7 against Boston. So, you know, from a chemistry standpoint and predictability standpoint, that's good stuff. But again, a lot of work to do yet, and you know, you just gotta put the work in. It's a tough league. Got to be ready to go.
How about your time with the Cup? You had a couple of days, right? And how would you describe it?
Yeah, good. Both days were really good. I was fortunate to get it twice, and you know, it was just a little bit different. Bringing it back home to my little hometown where I grew up in Canada, a little bit different than having it in Philadelphia, but both were great days. And like I said, just a little bit different. That's all. My family's back home, and my dad, mom, sister, and you know, cousins and all that. So that was a lot of fun to bring that there. Just from, you know, a hockey standpoint, they're huge hockey fans, and they've been big supporters of me throughout my life, and so it was kind of neat. But then bringing it to Philly, it's just Philly, you know, that's good sports town. They enjoy it.
Craig, do you feel like conveying that message, though, of when you talk about moving on but maintaining that hunger, having almost the exact same group back makes those messages a little easier?
No, it does for sure. You know, I think, guys, you know, when we talk about moving on, like, we can't sit there and, oh, we're Stanley Cup champions. You got to work. I mean, this is a tough league. It's tough to make the playoffs. So there's a lot of good teams. Our division's very good. You know, we gotta get ready. We got work to put in. You got to be ready. You got to be competitive, and you got to be ready to go.
Why is it so hard for teams to repeat as champions in the salary cap era? It's only been done once.
Because the league's so good. You know, the league they've done a great job, the NHL, of with a salary cap, and it's tough. It's a very good league. There's no bad teams really, when you look at it, and I think it's up for grabs all the time, the cup. So you gotta get into playoffs, and then you give yourself a chance. And then when you get in there, you got to have some breaks, and things got to go your way, and you got to play hard.
Because of the nature of where the team was when you took over last year, the backs were against the wall. There was that urgency. Well, does anything for you change in year two, starting from the beginning? Can it be that pedal to the metal feel, or is it the same every day for you, in terms of your style and how you hope to?
Well, it's the same for me every day. I approach it one day at a time. That doesn't change. One game at a time. That doesn't change. I don't look ahead. I look at the next opponent, and like I said, it's hard to make the playoffs. You got to be dialed in right away, and got to make sure you're competing and playing hard on a night in, night out basis.
It's early, but you kind of get that sense from these guys. Christine had mentioned you're not going to catch anybody by surprise on a given night, because you got 30 other teams that want to be where you're at.
We got a good veteran group of guys here, with a good mix of young players that are up and coming, and our veteran guys understand how tough a league it is. They really do, and they don't take not taking anything for granted.
You touched on Maroon a minute ago. When you think about the guys that are in the mix to maybe eat up some of those minutes, I mean, we can throw out Sanford, Blay. Are those two guys, and are there any other in the mix?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's guys. We got to see how it plays out, but we've got some good young players that probably are going to push for more ice time, which is good. They should. We hope that they develop and they earn those spots.
Do you think the cap, the advent of the salary cap, has evened out the competition even more than, say, when you were playing?
Oh, definitely. I think the competition is much better than when I played. Like I said, the salary cap's a big part of that, and I just think in general, just coaching and players understanding they get such good coaching at a young age in junior or college, and then they're coming up here. I mean, they're just ready to roll. These guys, young players, are really developed quickly, and wherever they're playing, college or junior, and then they get to pros, and it's the coaches are very good and they do a good job, and it's just tough. It's a hard league to win.
Are there one or two things you want to get out of this camp in preseason?
Well, one is, we gotta, as coaching staff, we gotta make sure we're monitoring our guys. They just finished playing not long ago. It really is. But on the other side of things, we gotta get the tempo back up and get them going. So it's kind of you gotta find a mixture there. That's one thing. We got 8 exhibition games, so we gotta make sure that guys are getting enough work in exhibition games, enough games, but not too many. That's kind of what I look at.
It's going to be a tough roster to make. What do you tell the young players? Maybe some of those San Antonio guys. In terms of making the team.
I don't think I tell them a lot. Like, I don't really say a whole lot to them, because they understand they're trying to make the team. They want to play in the NHL. So when we get to the exhibition games, they're going to get a good look and want to impress. So, to make our hockey team, you got to be a competitive guy, and you got to do things right. You got to put the team first. That's a big part of what we believe in here, and so that's some of the things that they know, and we'll see what they do in the exhibition games.
Petro said that. I mean, they're busy trying to fix everything, finish everything. The construction guys. He said they're not even in the locker yet. Is all your area, your offices, and the places where you look at video, is that all set up?
Yeah, we got video and all that we can watch, and we had the guys in there looking at video and stuff like that. But again, there's still some tweaks that they gotta take care of. So,
like when you're at your desk, does a construction guy come in and say, "Excuse me, Craig, I gotta do this," or no?
No, they're pretty good. They stay out of the way. It's very professional, and they'll come in here when we're all out of here and just get after it.
With Kyrou and Thomas, expectation they should be good to go by the start of the season?
That's up in the air. I'm not gonna comment on that really, because it's too early. I really can't make a decision on that yet.
Mm-hmm. But they both obviously need to get some work in.
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep them working and moving out there, and the more they can do, we'll advance them into the bigger groups, and hopefully, we can get them in some exhibition games here.
The line combinations you used out there today, is that kind of the early look on how things?
Well, I think I go back to Game 7, and there's no really any reason to change the lines right now.
No, it worked well last time.
It
Yeah,
worked,
no,
so
that seemed
we'll
to
just-
be okay
yeah.
for you, huh?
We'll start out that way and see where it goes. You know, we always move guys around and things change.
Craig, understanding you're not obviously involved in the business side of things, but just from a coaching perspective, we talked to Petro and Shen going into the last years of their contracts. Just from a coaching perspective, what these guys mean to you and just their importance to this team
Well,
and franchise.
yeah,
moving forward.
they're important guys for sure. Big part of why we won. But you know, contracts. That's not where that's not my job, and I don't worry about it too much. But also at the same time, I just I deal with it with them guys if they need to talk or anything. But I think they're just looking ahead to playing. That's all. They're worried about playing, and things take care of themselves. So.
Vladdy says at restaurants he's getting, people are paying for his lunch and dinner. Are you recognized more around town? Are people comping you for dinner or whatever, or if you have a cold one? Or?
I don't go out, so.
Come on, you have to go
We
out
saw you at a
sometime.
Cardinals game or two.
Yeah, Cole won that day.
We did, we were there.
But what I mean, do people, when you're out, do they recognize you more? Or do
Yeah,
they say, hey,
I
Craig?
don't know if it's more. I mean, they look at, they're excited. They're happy, and I'm sure when they see a player, they want a picture or an autograph. It's all good stuff. Yep.